Yeah.
Okay, and that is www.
Actually, no. So your free ones will
okay.
actually go through your blog itself, so through your WordPress setup.
Okay.
And so if you go into where you set up your WordPress,
Okay.
and it'll kind of look like this when you log in for the first time. Have you seen this page before? Kind of like with it on the left, you see the dashboard.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And I went to appearance themes.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
I only ended up with like 4 or 5 themes coming up.
Oh, that's weird.
And initially, I ended up with a bunch.
Okay. So these are the ones that are. This is really slow. This is funny. So these are the ones that are already installed on your computer or on your WordPress theme that are come up here under Appearance and Theme.
Yeah, I'm
and you
seeing
can see
about
how
3 or 4 there.
this is highlighted, and then Themes is highlighted, so that's where you're located right now.
Okay.
So you can click, these are your sub-menus under Appearance. You have Themes, Customize, Widgets, Menus.
But right now I'm only seeing.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are installed currently. So you would add New at the top.
Okay.
And then it will pull up a page that has, it's going to search for themes. And then you're going to find, and I apologize, this internet is really slow, so.
And
Yep.
okay, but how do you get past being overwhelmed by hundreds of things?
Yeah, so again, I would choose popular, or I would look at their featured ones to start with. Now, I don't like their search themes, search bar in here. I think it's too clunky.
Okay.
So I use Google. If I'm going to search for something specific, I'm going to use Google to search for a theme. But I would first start at like popular or featured and kind of flip through some of these.
Oh, I didn't even. Okay.
And like you said, you are going to look for the look that you want for where your pictures are.
Okay.
Most of them are going to be able to handle what you're wanting anyway, just because of the nature of...
Can you put a picture where there's
yeah,
not?
like a lot of them you can, yes.
Okay.
So what you'll have to do is you'll probably just have to try and see what happens. The other thing you're going to want to look for is where the menu is located. On this one, on this particular one, you see the black bar at the top, and that's where your menu is located, menu bar.
Okay.
And you can change the color of that. So like if you wanted a red or a yellow there, you could change that, or blue. The color usually can change.
One thing I ran into, I was trying to change the font, the type size.
And some of that on the free ones are harder to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the free ones will give you some limitations on what you can and can't change for free. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you find one in here that you like, and we could maybe see if there's a way
to find out without trying it out whether I can do that stuff, or is there going to be some trial and error?
It's going to be trial and error.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately.
See, I'm a person who likes to start a project,
just
do the
get it going.
Get it. And of course, it does like the. I mean, if it's something you're fixing in your house, you got to make 3 trips to the
store to find it. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what you're.
Well, at least I know what I'm in for.
Part of what you pay for a designer or someone to make your site is going through all this mess. And finding what you want, like a real estate agent.
Sure.
And then to go find what you would want, because there's a lot to go through. But you can kind of get an idea about what it looks like, and before you start clicking on the stuff, so you can narrow it down to a few in here and start clicking and trying them.
Yeah, like something like this. It doesn't have pictures down here, but at least it's got the basic format of it.
So sometimes I'll just right click and I guess you can't do that on this. You have to click Details and Preview just to see it in action. Now it should load a preview of it right here.
Now, how can I tell when that was made and when the last update was?
Yeah, good. So, and first off the bat, you see the number of stars. That's good. I mean, you want to look at that. That's reliable.
And that's showing out of how many ratings?
There's 59 people, and they've all.
Not a lot of ratings.
It's not a lot, no. So, And so let's see if we can find this. May have to cancel out of it here to see. It's been a while since I've used this free one. Okay, here it is. In the top right it says about.
Oh, okay.
And I just so I'm gonna right click it and view it in a new tab just so I can keep stuff open.
Yeah. This one doesn't have a lot of info, does it?
Really?
Oh. And what's the parent page?
I don't know. This may not be a good example because I don't see a lot of info on that one. Let's try another one just to see. Hasn't even been rated by one person yet.
Yeah. Okay, now see there it has a date. Would that be the creation date?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay.
Where's it sending us to?
What's that?
I'm trying to see where this is sending us to. I might have to do a little more research for you on this, on where to find the info on these free themes, because like if we were to switch over to these paid themes, all of these are really labeled well. Like you'll see on the right here, it'll say the rating, your number of sales. I mean, they've sold it 41,000 times. It was created. It was last updated. I mean, this is key right here when they last updated it. If it's been 2 years or they've been keeping up with it the last 2 years, you can tell.
Yeah,
and it's got a lot of sales, and it's got good
I'm
reviews.
gonna look at B. You said you've used those themes, right?
I've used some of these. This B one I haven't bought yet, but I want to, just because I think that they've got good stuff.
Okay. Now.
But I will. Let me research how to find out the details of the free ones
And I'm
for
gonna
you
look
too.
at those B themes. Now, as far as starting to build a website, I want a static website. I'm not interested in a blog at this point, anyway. I don't see that happening, but
that's okay.
Are you, without knowing what theme I'm going to do, is it pretty similar how to go in there and put pictures in? I mean, I put one picture in, but it didn't come up the same way the theme was when I picked the thing. You know, it was showing a big picture across the top, and when I actually inserted it, it's this little thumbnail thing.
Right. Well, let's install this one and just see, just to give it as an example, because I don't know anything about this theme. So, just install it and see what it gives us for options. And then at this point, you could do like a live preview before you activate it. But I'm just going to activate it and work on it. And I always keep a page next to it open. That is my website. And then the back end of it is what we call the back end, is where you log in, so that I can refresh this page and I can see it live, see it as I do it.
Oh, okay. So are the changes made live as you make them?
They
you don't
are.
have to click publish?
Right. So they are made as you do them.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So if you're starting
Because
it
if
clean,
someone comes to your website
Yeah.
and you're in the middle of building it, I
Well,
would think that would be really neat.
and as you can see, I've built mine not on the main website. I've
Yeah.
built it in a folder called test, so no one would be able to find this until I switched it.
Oh, okay.
So you could build yours in a folder. You just set it up in a folder, and then as soon as it gets ready, you just switch the folder out. Just take it out of the folder, and then you've got a live site
Okay.
when it's ready. And that's something I probably would have to help you with. It would take me like 30 minutes to do.
Yeah.
So
And at some point, I need to find out how to do that with David's website.
yeah.
Personally, well, there is a reason for going back to the old website, even
Yeah.
though it's an old website, because we get some really good analytical information through Thomas Net.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get that on this new site because we don't have their code in there.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
And they don't know we're still getting it. They don't know that they did not turn it off when we
They
could
didn't turn it
advertise
off,
it with them. So,
But yeah, you would just build it in a folder, and no one knows where that folder is. I can have an active website over here, and my test folder is where I'm doing all my testing.
okay.
Yeah, they suggest you should never do edits on a live site anyway.
Well, that's why I don't understand why WordPress is designed the way it is.
Yeah, so you would do it in a folder on its own, in its own new page,
Okay.
in a folder that's no one knows about, and then as soon as you're ready, we would just change the name of the folder. And it's slightly more complicated than that,
Okay.
and that there's a few other things you have to change,
Okay.
but within 15 minutes.
Well, I
you can switch
suppose WordPress is got more experienced people working on it. I mean, with Homestead, when I go make my changes and they're not made live,
Yeah,
and it doesn't go live until I click on publish,
Yeah.
and that's so easy.
right.
So,
Which is
okay.
true of a lot of them. Like I said, the ones you pay by the month, they'll do that.
Okay.
But as you can see, I just installed this test site within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of, it's fairly easy to set up like that.
Okay.
So if we were to go into our theme, we got a theme, we selected it, we activated it, and now there's lots of places to go to customize it. So it says customize here, but I'm going to click that. But there's also some other places to edit the theme.
Okay.
That's usually the first place I start. And you asked about fonts, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because the theme I picked, the type size was really tiny.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the color.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Okay, so all the stuff on the left side is your change, is what you can change, and this is the preview of what you are changing.
Okay.
And so I just kind of go down the list, but you could general settings. You're gonna have a logo, and you're gonna upload your logo here.
Okay.
So
Now, where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go when I do that?
It should tell you here where it's gonna go, but for the most part, logos are gonna be at the top,
Okay.
and then so this is just choosing that you're going to use a logo rather than a title, because this here, if you had a title, it will let you type
Okay.
a title, and then it's going to be a title, and then underneath it is where you would choose the image that you use.
Okay.
And every one of these is different. So if we were to go through all these, they're all going to have a different settings to set up.
Okay.
So it may not be helpful to really go through all of them with you, but just kind of read through them to see, and certainly I could kind of help you with.
You know, I think probably what I'm going to have to do is pick my theme, and which might, as you said, require some trial and error.
Yeah.
And then kind of get started on it, and then probably get back together with you.
Yeah, and see if this is
with
going
my account and actually work on it.
I would say that would be a good idea, and that's how I generally do stuff with folks anyway, is I would do like a second meeting. We would have a basic pages set up, and we would kind of have a general idea of the theme. I sent this to you. I'll send you another copy though. But
oh yeah, I got that.
Okay. So yeah, that may be a good idea, and certainly I can help you with finding some themes. But you may be able to just kind of flip through some of these. Now, to go back, I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to click this arrow, and it's going to go back to the settings.
Okay.
Like I'm looking for a font area, just to kind of get. I don't see that.
So, like at the top, you typed in something. I don't see it now.
Yeah.
But you typed in something that went in up here.
I did, yeah, and I don't know where it went. General settings. It went back to logo. So it's.
Oh, okay.
So for some reason, maybe I clicked back on logo or something.
Yeah.
But here's where you would select logo, and then you'd upload your logo into here to display at the very top of your page.
Okay.
And I think this is where the logo would be, but it may actually be up above it.
Your typing went up here.
Did it? Okay.
So I'm assuming that's where the
So
logo
it might be, and then this is considered their slider bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is their slider bar.
What platform did Jake build David's website on?
I have no idea.
Oh, really?
I do not. No,
Okay.
I think it might have been like a third party
It's not
builder.
WordPress?
It's not WordPress.
Okay.
No, it's definitely not WordPress.
Okay.
That would have been easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one has your image, so your page layout, so you can see this particular image is going to be a full-size page, which is what they already have, and then you have the option of having a sidebar to your right or to your left. For some reason, it's not displaying like it's not showing us the example of it. This is a free theme problem, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like this is an issue. So it's only been applied to published pages.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't actually get to see it until you publish it.
Not posts, not blog, or home. So this is for. So there's a distinction in WordPress what a page versus a post is. So I was going to kind of go through that with you, but let me hit it real quick with you. You have posts and you have pages on WordPress. Right here it is. So pages and posts, and they're going to look the same. I'm going to open each one of them.
Okay.
So when you open up the all posts, all pages, it's going to pull up this list of them, and these are all the pages, these are all the posts that you have created, and then the next one over here, these are all your pages that you've created, and they all look the same.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to look very similar, so you want to make sure you're in the right spot.
Okay.
Your posts are actually going to be, if you're doing a blog, then this is where you would do posts. Or if you did something where you wanted to update customers on a specific thing and you change it regularly, it's going to be under posts.
So if I have sales copy, is that going to be considered a post?
Say that again. What is it?
Sales copy.
Yep.
Like if I have a picture here and then I have a description here of what that picture is, even though it's not a blog, it's going to be under post.
Is it going to be regular update or is it's going to be at
No.
one? Yeah, no, it's not going to be a post.
Okay.
It's going to be a page. So
I
everything you
probably
set
don't
up.
even need to worry
I don't
about
think you need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything you're going to set up under as that's going to be static or that's going to be pretty much your home page, you're going to go under pages.
Okay.
So posts you will really only use is if you do a blog or a regular update of live.
At this point, I have no intentions of doing that.
No.
My goals, which I haven't been very good at, would be to go in and update the page, something on the page, once a month.
Yep.
Because when I go into my current page, like I say, my goal was once a month, which hasn't happened. But when I do, I notice an uptick in quote requests.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So all of them are going to be done under pages, including the home page.
Okay.
So you're going to create them under here. You're going to edit them under here.
Okay.
Everything will be done under pages.
Okay.
And I know I'm kind of getting away from our themes topic. I can come back to it, but I'm going to hit new, add new to the pages.
Well, I think this is what I need
You
at
need
this
this,
point.
I know. I think so too.
I need to figure out how to get
how to get
started
going.
building my page. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
so
website.
this is how you'll do it. So
Okay.
besides the theme discussion, which we'll put a table for just a minute. Once you choose a theme, and this is how you're going to create your site. Even your home page, you're going to create it through here. And I'm just going to label this home, just because it's the
Now,
home
is
page.
that going to go in the nav bar?
In the what?
The navigation bar?
Some of them it will, some of them it won't.
It depends on the theme.
Yes, it does depend on the theme. It's a great question.
That makes it
Yep.
really difficult.
Yep, it does. So some of them, if you put a title up here, it's going to show up into the theme on the actual page. And in that case, the workaround for that is to just remove the title. Of course, that's a problem
That's
because
the workaround for what now?
if I have a theme up here and I've chosen a theme and it says home on your top of your theme, it lists the page, then the workaround to get the word home out of your title of your home page is to delete the title.
Oh, okay.
And that way you don't have that title up there. And I was just showing you that this is how I'm going to create all of your pages is through the pages link, and I'm going to actually label this one home.
Okay, and I figured, okay, so you type your copy here, then how do you get the copy where you want it on the page?
Yeah. So, depending on the theme.
And I don't remember, maybe I did see it, but I don't even remember. I can see quite easily here how to change my font size, my color. It's all right there in front of me.
Well, and this is really confusing. So let me just real quick. This button up here toggled that information open here, and really there's no font changing going on inside here. These are just headlines, so you can actually change it to a header. So if you have,
But maybe that's what I ran into. And I really wanted to pick what I wanted.
right. So if you have a lot to say,
But you can change
in
color
different-
and stuff
you can,
too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have different things to say in different topics, you do want to use your heading 1, heading 2 just for search engine results, because search engines look for this and find heading 1, heading 2, and they say, oh, this is important. So for SEO stuff.
And I need to hear your SEO.
Yeah, I will be glad to. In fact, if you can use heading 1, if there's not a heading 1, it's going to search for that first, and that's going to be the most important stuff on your page.
Okay.
So the word paragraph just simply means this is my text. This is telling Google this is my text, and heading 1 is telling Google and your readers too that this is most important title. And then if you do have a subtitle, then creating heading 2, heading 3.
Yeah.
And so there, yeah, you're right. So then you can go highlight it, and you can choose the color of that text.
Okay.
That is for you and them and everyone.
Okay.
And you can choose your left align, center, right.
Okay.
Here's your links. If you highlight that, you can actually click on your edit links to make a link. So when someone clicks on that, they're going to be taken to another website.
Or another page?
Another page,
within
yeah.
your website?
Exactly. And
Okay.
so you can actually, once you start creating your pages, you can start typing the name of the page in there. And there just happens to be one called About that's already created in your site. So you can start clicking that and click it, and that will automatically pull up your About page.
Okay.
And you can hit Apply. Now, if the page is off of your website, it's a good idea to click that gears bar just then, and then open it in a new tab, and I'll just show you again how to do that.
What did you click on?
Sure. So if you're going to link off of your website and away from it, it's a good practice to go to the edit link, and then go to the gears bar and click the open in a new tab button. So what that would do is it would open the page when they click on it in a new tab, so that if they want to get back to your website, they're not lost in the sauce.
My website is still open.
Yeah, it doesn't get lost, because a lot of times people, if you keep them on if you don't open a new page, they're going to go to another website and then they're done. They're off your website and they can't find it again. So that's how to use that link thing here. And then these are kind of self-explanatory, bold and italics and bulleted. There's not a huge amount of formatting that the basic WordPress allows of you. So when you're looking for stuff in here, don't be surprised if you can't find it. It's true. It's not there. It's not there.
See, in Homestead, I can do all
You can do it.
I can pick
Some
my
of them are,
font, I can pick the point size.
And so this will probably be a theme. Like your themes would allow you definitely to choose your font. And if you can't, and you like the theme that much, we can go into the styling and we can perhaps get the theme to work with a certain font. So there's some tweaking to do, but it is one of the things about a theme.
That's specifically with the free themes.
Usually.
Because with the paid themes,
usually they'll give you
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Usually the paid themes will give you all of those options with.
Well, if you're getting a paid theme, how do you know? You know, they're talking about in the article you sent me. Some of them are heavy with plugins and all this other stuff. How do you know how much of that stuff is in a thing?
Yeah, you wouldn't know at first face value. But you would when you start installing it. You'll notice there's a lot of themes. It won't install the themes right away. It's going to, like if I install this theme, it's not going to install the plugins right away. It will say, at the top of it, it'll say, this theme suggests that you install
I've seen that.
such and such and such and such and such and such. Do you want to
so
install?
You do have control over that. Oh, okay.
Yep. So you don't have to install all of those. You can pick and choose what you want. And for what you're doing, you want me.
Can you, for example, if there's a contact form plugin, and I choose that, am I stuck with their format, or can I make changes to it? Or does it depend? That seems to be
I know they answer all of everything, right? Can you change the format of the contact page?
Well, say it's got all these fields, but I want to put in an additional field. I want to put in custom fields specific to mine. Like my contact form right now has the typical name, company, address, phone number, email, and some of those fields are required, and some of them are not. And then I've also got, are you interested in the doc load or the site-like severity? Do you want air through mesh or solid line? So would I be able to add those in?
For most, I don't know that anyone that I've used that you can't add a custom form in there.
Do they all have CAPTCHA codes? Or is
if they don't, get rid of it.
God.
They should, yeah. They should
Okay.
all have the capture, yeah.
Is one capture better than another?
I don't think
'Cause
so. No.
You've got the ones where you type in a random
Yeah,
code.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And even the 3+2, all it does is keeps robots from putting the stuff in there.
Spamming,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you can, just something simple is fine. I would tend to go away from that just a little bit, just to make it a little stronger. But
Yeah, I didn't care for that one, but he could never get the other one to work.
To work.
So that's it. It was better than nothing.
nothing, yeah. But yeah, if you
In fact, we
gotta,
got an information request just 2 days ago. I had not run into this before. Some guy purportedly in New York who does website design put through information through a request form about how, let me
I think it's spam.
freshen up your thing.
I think it's spam.
But I figure I only got one.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't, they figured out how to do that. Because I've also, before we had the capture code, I was getting, oh my gosh, and I had to look at every single one of them because you didn't know which, but, selling purses and all sorts
Yeah.
of junk.
I get a lot of them too from companies trying to sell me stuff, and if I've noticed it through a contact form, I think it's unprofessional to send it through a contact form.
Oh, sure it is.
And I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
totally delete it. I call it spam.
It is,
But
it's not
right.
a robot, I guess.
It's not a robot, exactly. It's not a robot, yeah. But yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So your font, and this will be true for all. It looks like most of the free ones. And I can just go down the right-hand side real quick with you if you want. And there's not a lot of other stuff here to edit. You can change this to, well, from this one, you can switch it. Once you publish it, you can change it back to a draft. It's not going to really affect what you're doing, but you could unpublish it basically. When you switch it back to a draft, it unpublishes it. You can password protect the page or make it private.
I done that with mine
Yep.
too, made it private.
Yep. So people can't access it.
Yeah.
And then you can have it published tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Probably won't be a huge factor for you, but
See, at that meetup, people were saying there was no way to not have your site live the minute you create it. I mean, the minute you start it, you have nothing on there.
yeah.
But there are several ways.
There's a couple
I've
ways
looked
to
at
do it.
several of
Yeah,
them.
and really, yeah.
But I think I set mine up as private. But I think you were. Did you pull it up with that temporary password?
Your website.
Yeah.
I thought I could get it to come up.
Yeah, I know I can on my computer when I'm not logged in, and I would think I shouldn't be able to either. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of private. What private means? It's not passworded. I guess you just can't access it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I do have options. That's a good thing.
And this is if you have, like if you wanted this page to be under a subheading of a subtopic of another, like
Is
another
that where
page.
you have your navigation bar and then you hover over or click over one and you get a drop down?
Yeah,
Are those sub pages?
Yes, it's set up a little. It's set up a little different. I think this is actually using the. I think this is using a different structure though. I think this is when you have breadcrumbs set up. It's pulling it from here. So there's two ways of setting up those.
Now, what is a
menus.
breadcrumb?
Well, at the top of your page, some themes will have like a little some help as to where you're located. Like it'll say home, it'll say, and then it'll say an arrow, and it'll show devices, and then it'll show an arrow, and it'll show Topco or I don't know, Sidewinder. And so you can click back and stay in the topic that you wanted to search for. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Think of another website that uses it. Most retail companies use it.
So are you talking about using a search button? mean, a search.
It's more of in the it's more to help the user to navigate better. This will take a while to load. So this is using the drop-down menus here.
Okay,
You
yeah.
click scroll, and then you go to cycling,
Okay, yeah.
and then your this is your
Oh, yeah.
breadcrumbs on the left.
Oh, okay.
So it shows
Okay, I
you that
hadn't
you're
heard
under
that term.
outboard gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I use that a lot.
Yep. It's okay. So
Okay.
here's, and you click back on outdoor gear. They may actually have the same, it's set up the same, but I think for WordPress, this outdoor gear button is created separately than this one.
Oh, okay.
It looks the same,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
anyway, that's kind of the gist of the
Okay.
breadcrumbs. And then the template gives you different options. Sometimes the template will give you different types of templates. So your theme will give you different template styles,
Oh, okay.
and you can choose it. Like sometimes they're full page options, so it doesn't have anything on the right and the left.
That's what I would.
So, and you could possibly do that on this theme. The default template may have that.
Okay.
We haven't set up the default template, so.
Okay.
And then your featured image is going to be displayed in Google, definitely pulled up by search engines. So if you do have an image that you put on a page,
So that's when I do a keyword search and they have the paid ads, then they have the organic, and then they have a row of photos. Is that where you're talking about, that row of photos?
it would be under, I don't know where Google gets all their stuff, honestly, but I know that it would pull it up from an organic search.
But you're talking about the photos that show up instead of the text
Yeah.
listing.
Yeah. Like when you search for Google and you get any of the images that are shown with the search results. So if your business shows up and has a picture underneath it, then that's where that image is coming from right there.
Okay,
It's the
okay.
featured
That's
image.
good to know. Because right now, I mean, in my current website, I haven't set anything up as a featured image. But when I do certain keyword searches, you know, we get that row of 4 or 5 little photos, and then I look to see whose they are, and I'm not sure if I only have one image that's coming up or several that's coming up. Yeah, but it's
And it could pull them from your main
it's
topics,
actually
too.
pulling it from a different page.
Yeah.
Let me just.
You do have you can put images inside the page too, and Google could be
Okay,
pulling
so
some of that up.
let's see. I guess we'll have to wait a minute. Okay. I actually don't ever see the photo that's the first one on here. This one never comes up. I think that one comes up, and this one comes up. That one comes up. And it's just, I've done nothing special except sit at
Is
there.
it the only thing on that page?
No,
There's other ones on the page.
at least one of them.
Okay.
There's that,
So
and then that.
it also knows to pull up the first one too. So if
Okay, so the most important photos need to be at the top.
first ones-
Which is the way I would design
Yes.
it anyway. With my
typically the
advertising
first
background.
one is, if it doesn't have one down here that's you haven't labeled as a featured, then it will likely choose the first one.
Okay.
That's pretty.
You know, one other thing that I've noticed, and this goes to SEO. David, my
Those are great.
website. Oh, thank you. My website has been up for 3 years.
Yeah.
David's website has been up probably since, I don't know, 2008,
Yep.
2009, 2010, somewhere around there. And I go in periodically and do keyword searches, which throws off my analytics, I guess. But I don't usually click on anything. But I do to see how are we coming up.
Yeah.
And our biggest competitor, it's a competitor on some things and not on some other things, but it was not coming up. I don't even think it was coming up much at all.
Your competitor?
Then it was coming up. Well, now, I mean, it is the first 6 places. Maybe it's every single one of them. I mean, they've made some changes and it's coming up. And I've gone in to the code and I've made a list of all the keywords I see. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's why I need your SEO talk.
Yeah, okay. I can give that to you brief if you want to, and then you just kind of tell me how much more you want to know.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
the thing with SEO is it's changed so much, so fast.
It changes all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, and so I understand that much
and so people, the truth about it, people don't understand it because it changes so fast. And by the time people know, it's kind of like, well, that was 2 years ago. So, and social media has made a huge impact because they've created a lot of factors possible, or they made a lot of factors possible on what people want to read about. Because, I don't know if you know this or not, but about less than 20% of things that I post on my Facebook page as a business gets seen by the general population or the people that follow my page.
Oh, okay.
So do you have a Facebook page?
I do, but I don't do it. I've never posted anything
to it.
I got Facebook to follow my nieces and nephews, basically.
Right, exactly, right, yeah.
And so I go in and look at other people, and I might send private messages to people, but I don't. That's all I do with Facebook.
So when they started doing these Facebook pages, most of them went out there to the followers. If you clicked I like this product, it would pop up. And then if you liked this, I have you as my friend, I'm going to see all of your posts. And it's just constant. It's a constant feed of things.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So they decided, how are we going to throttle this to be what people are actually going to read? Because we want to keep people engaged in this.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of factors that go into Facebook's algorithm. And you rarely see everything of everyone's stuff that you're friends with because you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Well, the
Unless
pages
you
are
go to their page.
Exactly. You go to their page and you choose it.
Right.
Well, pages is the same way. If I have my own business page and I post on it, about 20% or less of my posts get seen by my followers.
Okay.
They've said, I want to read about your stuff, but Facebook is not showing it to me.
Oh.
20% of the time they're seeing it. 80% of the time they're not seeing my posts. And you can see in the pages of your page, you'll say how many people you've reached. And usually mine says like 6, 10 out of 100.
Yeah, and see, my interest is when someone types in loading dock barrier, that my page comes up, preferably in the first 5.
Right.
Of unpaid,
right.
The organic side, not paid search. In the beginning, my competitor was not. They weren't even coming up on the pay-per-click. And now they're doing some pay-per-click. But they've evidently gotten someone that's done their website. Where are they out of? Iowa, maybe, I think. And evidently they've done a bang-up job because they are.
Well, we can research it too, what else they're doing. Because so Facebook does this thing, and then Google has this dilemma of people about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that ago, started learning that they could just program their website to say whatever they wanted it to get more rankings.
So people were doing like the hidden keywords loading it, so now they kind of
I could put
back
in
against that.
Yeah, so I could put in there Justin Bieber 10 times, and now I've got the top of the rankings, even if it has nothing to do with Justin Bieber. He's popular.
So now they blacklist you if you do
So
that,
you are blacklisted if you do that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they're not using that as the primary way to, or the only way to
Okay.
search for you and find you. So if I program your website, the words I use in it is one out of hundreds of factors
Okay.
that are used to find your site.
Okay.
Because people were doing that. They learned, oh, we can trick the system.
Sure.
I can program it. If you guys want me to program it, I'll program it. So there's a lot of factors now, hundreds of factors that go into how to get the top rankings
Okay.
in Google. And one of them definitely is some keywords. But it is very few of the things are used for keywords. Like keywords are just a very small amount.
I didn't know that.
So there are some things you can do, and I can write a list of things for you
That would be helpful.
that will be good for you. And as we've talked about the images, like putting an image down here is helpful, and then tagging that image. So when you go in to add your images in here, of course.
Oh, okay.
Shoot. Of course. Much to.
Another thing is that I keep reading is links are important. That people link to you.
Link to you.
Link to other things.
Yeah.
And I know my competitor has got a fair amount of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would like to, with a limitation for us is that we basically have one product. Their company has got 24 products or whatever. And and ours is a simple product. So there's not a lot of video opportunity.
Right, sure.
David's does have some links to some trade sites, trade journal sites, Thomas Net, which is a big industrial, used to be a so he does have some links from ads and things. My site for this, I'm just doing my first paid ad from November, and so I will start getting some links to my website.
Yep.
So,
And if you were to highlight a business that you work with and do a quick video of interviewing one of them about the product that you use, like a 2-minute thing, that's something you could use just to put up there on the web, and then gives them coverage a little bit and gives you a little bit.
See, I don't see myself doing something like that.
And that's
this
okay.
Is industrial.
That's okay, but that's just an idea, something that ways you can get more stuff out, populated, and that's why people blog, is because it does give more information out there, content.
And people link to their blogs,
And so they're getting the more content they have out there on the web, the more they can link to, the more stuff that is just out there in general. Like Google will find that you have a lot of you have a big site and it's good data. People go to it.
Well, that's another thing. Our sites are small.
Right.
Because we just don't have that much
Not a lot.
to say.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to.
But I mean, over time, you would perhaps add more to it.
Yeah, I started out with a 3-page site. In fact, I didn't even use my whole first year free because before that first year was up, it was limited to 3 pages, and I added pages to add more stuff in to try to increase it. Talk about keyword searches. My niece, who has a different last name than I do, who lives in a different state than I do, was sitting in an airport in yet another state and typed into her phone flight status. That's all she typed in was flight status. She wanted to check the status of her flight that she was waiting for. She pulled up my itinerary for a trip I had scheduled on an airline. She got my name, my flights, and what I paid for it.
It's a little creepy.
It's very creepy. And I have yet to figure out how they connected this. I can only think of one because I had emailed my itinerary to a couple of other family members. I had not sent it to her. At that time, I didn't even have her email address because we communicate through Facebook. And I had sent her a message through Facebook saying, I'll be up in January. I don't even think I put the dates in. And I have yet to figure out why she, with flight status, why she pulled up my information instead of hers. But somehow Google connected
Right.
us.
Or it was in her phone some information was in her phone about the connection, some of the connection. Because there's so many cookies they say on your phone too.
Yeah. So she has a new phone now, and I've got another flight scheduled. So I called her. I said, I'm not going to tell you this through Facebook. I called her and said,
I'm gonna tell you.
put in flight status, see what comes up.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from her yet.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't.
Yeah.
But
that looks like.
So when you do enter this is one of your images
I was
here.
going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when you do enter, put an image on your site, you do want to, and like I said, I will send you information on the things that you can control.
Yeah.
But a caption is going to be
Okay.
underneath the picture. The real important one is the alt text.
So the image caption will display.
Will
right?
display, yeah. The image
And there are
caption
some
is display.
things on my current website that don't display.
That's
some
correct.
Description.
Yep, which is fine. You don't need it to display anything. What you do want it to have in there is the alt text. And alt text is what Google and search engines search for. In fact, if someone has a visual impairment, it actually pulls that data from there and it reads it to them so they know what the picture means. I just learned that the other day.
See, I don't think I've put anything into alt text.
Most people haven't.
I didn't know what it
A
was.
lot of people haven't.
So
if you could just imagine someone that's blind looking at this, what do you want them to know about that image that's descriptive enough to tell
So
you
does
what
it
that
come to them as a blind person with audio?
audio? Yeah. And
Okay,
what
so it
Goo-
needs to be a description of what's
in a few words, what it is.
Right.
Not a sentence, but in a few words.
Sidewinder barrier, retractable, industrial retractable barrier,
Yeah,
or something.
that's fine. And what it does is Google, because Google can't read that picture either. They don't know what that is.
Right.
But they do read the text that you write in there, and that's what it pulls from, is to describe what that is. So,
You know, I'm still working on my current website.
yeah,
Try to keep, bumping it up in the searches while I'm doing the new one.
New one, yeah.
I want to keep that old website.
current,
Yeah.
yeah. And then description you can also plug in there, and I've told clients to copy and paste the same thing from alt text to description. If you think it's better
really?
to put a description in there, because I may
Now,
be a
does
little.
the description display?
Oh no,
I don't think it does.
No, I think it's just the caption.
Okay. Because I have put descriptions
Yeah.
on my current webpage.
Yeah. And then above it too, I just missed the title, so you can put a title of the image. You want it to be something that's
I think I've got titles in on my current page.
plain text. You don't want it to be something that's.
What do you mean plain text?
You just don't want it to it popped up. It comes up with the image, the name of the
what
image.
the name of the picture is. So
Yeah.
I would want to put something like Sidewinder barrier.
Yeah,
Okay.
something that's more plain that people can understand.
Okay. I think
It could be the same as alt.
display
It could be the alt text too. It could be the same wording as alt
Okay.
text. I don't know that it's makes a huge difference. But I do know that the image title makes a difference. So if you have, you've named your images. There's she's gonna be 3 in the tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh,
she's excited. She doesn't know what that means, but
But you do.
we
She's
do.
getting
Yeah,
older.
That's right. So if you had images, where did I put yours? Business. That's not going to be it. It's in the Dropbox. Oops. So just for another thing you just want to kind of think on is the name of your picture that you have when you upload it to WordPress. For instance, this is called a wrench dot whatever. You want it to be something that is normal people text. You don't want it to be something that's like some kind of strange name of your image.
So what the image is named on my computer, I want to be reflect what someone would keyword search.
It would be
in other
important,
words,
yeah.
Okay, so I need to change the names basically.
It just gives you another place on the internet that the name of your item is, that would Google would find it, and it doesn't understand what numbers, a random string of numbers and letters is.
Sure.
So if you
and they're not going to understand Augusta.
No,
That's
they won't.
the customer's name.
Right,
You know?
exactly. So when you upload pictures, make sure before you upload them that you label them correctly.
Okay, that's helpful. Yeah.
And honestly, Martha, that's kind of the quick of SEO. The other thing is I will make a list of stuff that you can do.
I wrote some things down.
Yeah. I had a customer once that was upset because he didn't get very good search rankings.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I had been telling him from the get-go that I cannot do this for him. That this is one of the components out of 100 is going to be me putting the keywords into his site for him, which you're actually going to be doing anyway. But that there's so many factors in it, and there's not going to be. You cannot rely on just the keywords in this. And so I tried to make it abundantly clear to him that there are so many other factors, and one of them is social media. I mean, it's a big deal, and I know that you're not on it right now, but if you could go towards that.
Tell me more about that aspect.
Because it's linked so much, it's so integrated, and people can click on it. Whereas your website, people aren't going to necessarily click in there. You want an interaction with people. So the more they interact with you, Google sees that, and the search engines see that as an interaction.
So is that saying like a Facebook page?
A Facebook page is fine.
I mean, my LinkedIn
works.
Page, I have got my business information. I've got pictures of of the barriers. I mean, that's all. Is there
a way, and I just don't know LinkedIn that well, is there a way for them to click on stuff in there, to like it, or to?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't.
If there's not a way for them to engage in it on your page.
I might have a link to my website in there. I'm not sure. I was just going to show you. But this is really slow.
But the last 2 years, they were looking for engagement. Like they want they want to know that other people are engaging with you somehow. Okay. And so if there's a social network out there that does engagement, or if there's a way to engage on LinkedIn, then you'll want to use that avenue. I just don't know enough about LinkedIn. I should, but. And don't feel like you have to do all of the socials. Like some people say, I need to do all the social networks. No, don't do all of them. Choose one or two that you can be good at, and then you can focus on where your clients are. Don't try to be somewhere your clients aren't. That's a waste of time.
YouTube is not considered a social network.
It is now, really, because it's found in the search engines.
Now, if I want to upload a video to my site, which I don't have one now, but that's a goal for down the road. Does it have to be from YouTube?
It does not have to be.
Is it better if it's
It probably
YouTube?
is better, just because now you're in YouTube, and YouTube just happens to be owned by Google. So
it just happens to be they own everything.
Right, so wouldn't that be kind of convenient for them to find their own items and use their own their own directory? So I would put it in there. Even if you put it on your own site too, you could put it in both places.
Okay, or I could link it.
Or you could link to it. Most of people embed their YouTube stuff inside their website is what I would recommend.
Oh, really?
So you basically
Okay.
now it's simple. You just go to YouTube and you copy the link to that
Okay.
to that video, and you paste that link into WordPress.
So it comes up as part of my
And
website,
it
like
shows
my
up.
photos do.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
just put it inside your. All you do is you paste it inside of this, and it'll automatically publish it in there.
Oh, okay. There it is all text.
Link here. And once you put the YouTube link in there and hit enter, it'll automatically put that video in there.
Okay. Now here, I do have some alt text like for this picture, but it also says link to. But there's no reason. I don't have anywhere to link that. To,
Right, yeah.
Right now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. But see, I mean, when I'm working on this website, I added the photo right here, you know, and this is what it looks like when you're actually looking at my website.
Yep.
So this was my background.
Yep.
And then to get to WordPress, it was a shock to my system.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is so easy.
Yeah.
It took me a while, but I had some help getting started on it.
Yep. Yep.
But it's so easy, and so I can, there's my text.
Yep.
Font, size, color,
Yeah.
background color. All this stuff is right here.
It's
at my
right there.
fingertips.
Right.
And so I'm hearing how
I know.
wonderful WordPress is, and I can't do all this
I know.
stuff. But this is not responsive. In fact, even on my screen,
Right.
it looks bad.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
And I didn't look at your theme that you picked out to see if it was responsive. Did you?
it is.
Okay.
That's the one thing I did
Okay,
check.
okay.
But I don't think that's going to be the thing for me.
Right.
From what I've seen so far, I think I'm going to have to go
Choose
back
another.
and do that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind that there's lots of factors. Social media is one of them that goes into it. Having more link backs to your page is definitely a big deal.
So linking back to my page is more important than linking somewhere else.
Yes. Yes. And
Okay.
again, it's a way that shows that you have interaction and engagement with other people.
Can you do that in like YouTube? Is there a way to? I'll have to look at that.
That's a good question. Like link back to your site. There is a way to do it.
Now, do these, okay, and I don't need to know today because I'm not there yet, but do these links have to be used for them to count?
Most of them, yeah. Yeah.
I have an About Me page, which was something I did
Yeah.
some years ago.
They used to not be.
And I've only had one person that got to me through my About Me page, and he also got to me through the website.
Mhm,
I thought
yeah.
that was so I think About Me is probably pretty much a waste, but it's out there.
What's out there? And it is, I think it does count still, just for the
Some stuff,
record.
and-
I think it does count, Martha. So
Okay.
keep it out there. You know, the more you have out there that's with your website name on it is definitely counts. Because it does
Okay.
search for your name, and it does find it again. It says, oh, it's found another instance of your website.
Yeah.
So it is a part of it. It's just maybe not as important as having someone engage with your site.
I'm gonna just.
I should probably show you this, is that when you are going into your theme to edit it, now my cursor's gone, okay. When you go into your theme under appearance and you go to themes
Yeah.
to customize, Customize is one place you can go, and then theme options is the other place, and it'll let you choose some options for your theme. So,
okay.
And this particular, oops, I'm sitting on my mouse. This particular theme does not let you do anything under theme options because it's most of the free ones don't. But there's some other options that will come up in some of them, and then I'll just show you this real quick. Just under menus, under appearance and menus, if you click on that, that's where you actually create your menu drop down. So this is something that you can work on later. It's not going to be a huge make or break for your site, but where your headings are at the top of your web page, like your navigation bar. This is where you would create those things. So those buttons. So the actual buttons themselves. So
that someone could click on it and go to that page.
Right.
But that's not automatic.
Right. So it'll have so let me just put in a couple of these here for you.
Oh, okay.
So we have to name it the menu. So the menu bar, we're gonna just title the menu bar.
And I don't foresee having any drop downs at this point anyway. I just foresee having a navigation bar with my choices.
Got it, okay. Yeah, so, and then on the left here, it'll show you your pages. So once you start creating your pages, on the left here, if you click view all, it'll list all of your pages.
Oh, otherwise, if I don't want them all to be viewed.
Yeah, you don't need to have them. Yeah, you don't have to have them viewed. So you could click them all or unclick ones. Just click add to menu, and it'll basically toss them over here.
Okay.
And then there's some options. Sometimes if you click the little arrow, it'll let you choose some options. For the most part, there's not much you're going to be able to do here. Except for if you want to reorder these, then you would drag and drop. So if I wanted,
okay, that's all.
So this will be the order in which it's going to show in here at the top of the page.
Okay.
Of course, it's not going to right now because I don't think it's set up correctly.
Right. Okay.
But and then once you do this, you hit Save Menu, and this will be your menu bar. And then of course, on the left-hand side, if you wanted to have outside links or anything else for a custom link to some other website or something, you can put the name of the website address and the name of it and add it to the menu.
Okay. So, I thought of another question.
Please, yes.
I have these pages that I want to have. Okay, and here's my home page, and here's my second page. Now I'm going to pick the theme based on this layout.
Okay.
Is the theme I pick going to give me this layout for all my pages? Or can I do different layouts for my other pages?
That's a great question. Like for this,
because I wouldn't think they would all be the same. That just doesn't make sense.
Right. Let me look at this theme real quick because I know we've kind of just picked it at random, but I'm interested to know how they're setting up their pages.
Now you obviously could pick a theme faster than I could because your experience with themes, you're not going to be looking at all of them. You're going to have a small number you're probably going to look at. But being a first-time person, how much time do you think I should expect to put in to choose a theme? And I realize it's kind of a shot at a dartboard, but...
Yeah, I would think it's going to take you a couple hours.
Okay. So if I find out I'm spending all day, I'm doing something
I think you might be doing it wrong, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great question. Just call me.
Okay.
If you feel like you're just off track, just call me and we'll just get you back on track.
I'm thinking that if I'm not doing very well, I might have you make some suggestions or something. But we'll see.
And I want to explain it well too, so that means I might not have explained it well either. So
I think you did.
Okay. Hope so. It's still loading this themes
Okay.
details.
So what brought you down?
The weather. I went to Elon. I studied
Oh, you
at
did
Elon.
go to
Yeah.
Elon. Okay.
Went to Elon, studied there, and graduated from Elon in '98. And then I worked here in Greensboro. I did communications major.
Oh, okay.
And then I decided I wanted to be a paramedic, so I've been a paramedic for 9 years.
Oh, really?
And then I left that, and we had our daughter, and my job was at the Cone, and I got laid off.
Okay.
They'd cut our whole department a month before Sarah was born, and so I went back to stay at home, and my wife went to work.
Okay.
So I started this business a few years ago, doing website stuff, and yeah.
Well, you know, my husband pointed out that Cone was laying off. Woe is me, we don't have enough money, and we're laying off just after they built how many $1 million.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's a good point. We noticed that too.
We read the Triad Business Journal, you know.
Yep.
And
yeah, we were surprised to see all that too.
my cousin's daughter graduated from Elon, and we took her out to dinner one day, and she told us that Elon was very popular with people up in the Northeast because it was it was a good school
Right.
and much less expensive than the good schools up there.
Yep. That's right. That's true. My dad said the same thing. He said, this is much cheaper than any school would ever be in North.
Yeah. Is your family still up?
Yeah, they are. My folks are actually coming down tomorrow to look at houses down here.
Oh, really?
They're wanting to move down.
Yeah, nice.
So I said, good, you can help while I recover from rib fracture.
Yeah, right.
Help us around the house.
You can't do much for
Not a
fracture
thing.
except not breathe.
That's right.
That's not a good answer.
That's not a good
either.
answer, right? Stop breathing for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was trying to see in here what featured section. Here's the background.
Well, I'll play with it.
Yeah, I would do that, and then
just
kind of you can see in this.
I mean, I can build 2 pages right away.
Sure.
Just to see what happens with that second page.
So
This has been a good start.
here's a way to disable the slider. You can just get rid of the slider right there.
Oh, okay.
So it's
If
turn
you
on and
disable
off.
it, then you would just have one photo, basically, a static photo.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see where. Yeah, I guess you're. Where would your?
You know, a lot of what is becoming popular, and I think younger people, their brains are developing differently, and they think differently,
Yeah.
and they operate differently. I find extremely obnoxious. You know, I grew up with menus, but everything's going now toward tiles. Somebody last time, look, they were going toward tiles. And it's just too much information for my brain.
Right,
I get
yeah.
totally overwhelmed
Yeah.
and shut down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, the sliders are interesting. I
Yeah.
see them on a lot of websites.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's an advantage search-wise to have a slider.
No, not at search wise.
But I just don't see the need for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think this has been a good first cut, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And I appreciate your